So is Instagram, as I'm simulcast this morning on Instagram for Mornings LLA with your updates about your second stimulus check, your second stimulus package, your second stimulus memos, your second stimulus extensions, whether they match your hair or not, and Sirloin's thoughts about whether Munchen is a cow or not. I'm so glad you joined me on a Friday morning. That was supposed to be a deadline for someone to get their hair done, but it turned into a deadline to get extensions. So uh, the question is whether the extension is going to match the rest of the hair. I'm so glad you joined me. And in the IG room, I see Chris, Christine, and Timbo. Who do I see in the YouTube room? I don't see anyone. The whole screen disappeared. There we go. I see Terry. I see Gabs. I see Ricky. And there we go. And Gabs is in the room. So the big update as you start your new morning is that we really don't know what the man with the key is going to do today, and that's Mitch McConnell. If you did not join me last night or this early morning or the other early morning show, one of them is pinned in the comment below and is also pinned to the side. On Early Morning to LA, I detailed why today is really sort of hard to predict, and I went live because I don't want to be made irrelevant by Mitch McConnell in less than 15 minutes, which he could. As we start the new morning, it's about 7 o'clock on the West Coast and 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Mitch McConnell has still not indicated whether he's going to do an extension of the CR, the Congressional Budget Bill, that has stimulus in it, or not. If he does not do an extension, the federal government shuts down tonight. If he does do an extension, then it goes to the president for the president to sign. We don't know if the president's going to sign or veto it, but the question is whether Mitch McConnell is really going to do an extension or do something else or try to get something done and try to unravel Nancy Pelosi. Really unclear. To recap where we are, this is explaining where we are to where we got into this point. About 2 weeks ago, I urged the followers of this channel, Purple Power, to go on social media and urge for stimulus in the CR because it created an inherent deadline to get this done. Now, you know what we've done with what we've had with deadlines before. We've had deadlines where Congress could just avoid them. FPUC expired in July. They didn't take care of that deadline. Then we had other deadlines thereafter. We had a deadline for the airlines. We had other deadlines as things came upon us. The current deadlines is the eviction moratorium is expiring in just a few days. Mortgage forbearance is expiring in a few days. FPUC, excuse me, PUA and UI are expiring in a few days. So those deadlines are there as well. But how about Congress's deadline? Well, we understood that December 11th was a deadline. Otherwise, the federal government shuts down. Well, what did Congress do yesterday? About 3 days ago, a news article from Politico claimed that both sides of Congress, House and Senate, wanted to extend this and were going to do it by Tuesday, this last Tuesday. That article apparently now was wrong because Mitch did not want to extend it, nor did the House. But late last night, the House of Representatives, led by Nancy Pelosi and her flock of sheep, voted to do an extension. And when she asked, I think I'm going to do extension, someone said, it doesn't match your hairstyle, Nancy. So, but she ultimately went with a hair extension. She ultimately went with an extension, and it's not a good look for her. It's literally and figuratively not a good look for her because now she's just said, we'll take care of it next week. Well, why have you not taken care of it for 6 months? And what's the holdup? The holdup is you want to do big bailout of big states and big bailouts of big government again and manifesting it as something other than what it is. So it landed in the Senate yesterday, and Senate had the opportunity with Mitch McConnell, to do an extension yesterday. He didn't do an extension yesterday. So will Mitch McConnell do an extension today or will he not? Really unclear. What's also unclear is the nuances of the political maneuvers with this. This is what came out yesterday, and this is a new bill. I'll show it to the IG room. This is a new bill that was filed yesterday by Senator Josh Hawley. The Hawley bill, called the Emergency Direct Payments for Families Workers Act of 2020, is a standalone stimulus check bill. This is all really exciting because it's a standalone stimulus check bill. It's $1,200 stimulus check bill from a man who speaks with the president every day and says that the president would do $1,200 to a $2,000 stimulus check and may veto anything that he comes across his table from the CR that does not have a stimulus check in it. So this is really exciting news. What's also really exciting news about this today is that this, if you see there's an S because it's Senate, but figuratively, there is no word CR anywhere in this. Why? This actually has nothing to do with the CR. It has come up as a result of the CR. One thing I did not make clear when I first talked about Senator Hawley's bill, which has a lot of support from Bernie Sanders, virtually every Democrat in the Senate supports it now, is that, and AOC as well, is that this bill is not something with the CR. And so what's important to understand is they can get this done today. They can get this done tomorrow. It has nothing to do with the CR. It's just a bill. It's a standalone bill for a stimulus check. There's nothing else in there. Nothing else in there. And the stimulus check is $1,200 for adults, $500 for children. There's confusion, lack of clarity of whether adult dependents would get a stimulus check under this or not. I believe that the intention is that they would. The wording of it is not clear, so I'll leave it at that. So this is really exciting because since March, no one has had the strength, the courage to do a standalone bill for a stimulus check. And since about June, no one has had the strength to do a standalone bill for anything. So here's how everything could get solved very quickly. And this is what's really exciting this morning as we start Friday morning here on Mornings LA. Thank you for joining me live on a special live recording. Is that with this bill, if you revised it and add two other things, we'd be done. Well, three things. We'd be done. One, revise it and add UI and PUA for 1 month. Revise it and add eviction moratorium. And revise it and add mortgage forbearance. And we're done. Who cares about the CR? CR is those people. That's their government. Yeah, they want to shut down the government. You go shut down the government. But suddenly, this is not stimulus in the CR. This is just stimulus. This is just a standalone stimulus bill. And if the standalone stimulus bill is revised to include those three other things, we're done and we're good till January. I'll recap. Your PUA and your UI expires in a few weeks. You just need 3 sentences in this. I'll hold it up. I'll continue to hold it up. You only need 3 sentences in this bill to extend UI and PUA till the end of January. You only need 1 sentence in this bill to do an eviction moratorium. You only need 1 sentence in this bill to do a mortgage forbearance. And so if you did it, you wouldn't need anything else to get us to January. In January, Joe Biden would take care of everything else. If you're just joining the room, thank you for Paul Ramirez who just joined the room. What did I miss? Let me back up and recap because we started with about 100 people in the room. We're at 733. Let's see if we're at 1,000. Just a second or two. So where we are this morning is that Mitch McConnell hasn't decided what to do yet. The news is that there is no news since last night. Mitch McConnell hasn't moved yet, and it's really quite surprising. But the breaking news that I'm delivering to you right now is that and Cindy Goodman saying, what did I just miss? I'll explain to you right now. What's important to understand is what I'm breaking to you right now is that everything can get done is Josh just modifies this and adds 3 things, and the viewers of this channel are taken care of till we get to January. Josh Hawley, a Republican out of Missouri, a senator, introduced the standalone bill, which I'll put up to the screen here, introduced the standalone bill yesterday, $1,200 stimulus checks. And the $1,200 stimulus check is a standalone bill. There's nothing else in it. Now, this bill has nothing to do with the CR. And so all you need to do is to revise this and put 3 other things in there: eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, and an extension of UI and PUA till January, and we're done. We're done. You don't need to get anything else done between now and January. I've seen some of the comments come across the stream. SSI and SSDI, the $2,400. That's Joe's thing in January. That's a separate bill. That doesn't go in here. Um, my senior citizens, you would get a stimulus check under this. That would be the way it's revised. Everyone would get a $1,200 stimulus check, with the exception of kids. They would get $500 stimulus checks. It's so simple. We're back to, hey, this is so simple. Why aren't we understanding this right now? I'm also seeing comments about multiple stimulus checks. Don't need multiple stimulus checks. Joe's taking care of that in January. Joe's taking care of multiple stimulus checks in January. Joe's taking FPUC retroactive to July at $600 a week. Joe's taking care of $2,400 SSI and SSDI. Joe's taking care of hazard pay. All those things are done in January because that needs a massive bill. This is an emergency bill. Josh Hawley's is an emergency bill, but it needs three other emergency things in there. It needs eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, and PUA and UI, and just for 1 month. And it's just so simple. And then at that point, you and I don't care what happens with their stupid CR, because if they want to shut down the government, go shut down the government. It has nothing to do with us. The CR, the Congressional Budget Bill, is a congressional budget bill to run the government. It normally has nothing to do with you and me. It's a bill to run the federal government, to mop the floor outside of Nancy's office. It has nothing to do generally with us. It's only because we tried to put stimulus into the CR. Now that we've tried to put stimulus in the CR, everyone has literally turned it into like a carnival ride, like a carnival game, where it's like, oh, I want this, oh, I want that, oh, I want this, oh, I want this. You know what? This was our idea. It was our idea to get a few things into the CR and get it done. Now it's just sort of piling on. It's like, okay, wait a second. You want to do that? We're going to back up and we'll go right to the basics. Stimulus check, PUI, UI, extension of eviction moratorium extension and mortgage forbearance extension. Done. And do I think that Mitch would do this? Why would he not? And to make it even easier, you know what I'm about to say. You know what I'm about to say. Drop in the comments. I'm going to give you a hint about what I think, to see if you know what I'm about to say. Josh doesn't talk about where the money would come for the stimulus check. Obviously, if you don't say it, it comes from Treasury. Where do you think you could make this even better if Josh explains where the money should come? What do you think Josh should put in here? Drop on the screen in front of me. Where do you think Josh should say where this money is coming from for the stimulus check, to make sure it really doesn't cost you anything or cost Congress anything? SBA says only one clip. Dorothy, executive order. No, it's. Let's see if anyone else. SBA, absolutely. CARES Act 1, CARES Act 1, leftover CARES Act 1. SBA, Ginger, Julie, there we go. SBA, Savannah. So this is so darn simple. This is a no-brainer. Now, I know they have no brains in Congress, but this is a no-brainer. Josh has the bill. Add three more things. Say repurpose CARES Act 1 money. Remember, CARES Act 1 money is not needed for eviction moratorium. Eviction moratorium is free. Mortgage forbearance is free. All you have to do is repurpose CARES Act 1 money. We already know there's $600 billion of it because Larry Kudlow said it on broadcast news a week ago today. We only need $300 billion of it. So we know that's there. And so this is so simple. And guess who wants to repurpose CARES Act 1 money? Well, I just said it actually. Larry Kudlow. Larry Kudlow and the White House has always wanted to repurpose CARES Act 1 money, and Josh Hawley speaks with the White House all the time. So let's recap. This is like a nice gift with a bow on top of it. It's written by someone who speaks to the White House all the time. It's a stimulus check. The White House wants to use SBA money to repurpose it to pay for things. We have enough SBA money to do this. It wouldn't cost anything. And you would add eviction moratorium, which is free, mortgage forbearance, which is free, and 1 month of UI and PUA, which I don't even think it costs. I don't even think it costs $50 billion. It doesn't cost much of that, anything. It's that simple. What's Josh's Twitter handle? And I'm seeing the word Holly, Holly, because that's the way I talk. It's a Josh, Josh, Hawley, Haw, Hawley. Hawley. Holly Mo? I don't know if it's Holly Mo. I think it's Josh Hawley, but someone just says Holly Mo. But his last name is Hawley, not Holly, not like Holly, but like not like Christmas Holly. And there we go. When we get a stimulus check, Holly. No, there's a Y in there. Someone took out the Y. There we go. Okay, so it is Holly Mo. So would we see a stimulus check before Christmas? Well, if they got this done by Monday at 5 p.m., yes. If they got this done by Monday, we would see this by then. Um, can this become a reality? Well, Josh says he wants to call for a vote. Why doesn't Josh sort of modify it and then really get everyone's vote in favor of it? And you know what? There's another way to do this, and I need to say this as well. We could also have a separate standalone bill, which is just, this is the one for checks. There's one for UI and PUA, and eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance, and get them done together. And it's just that simple as that. But they aren't back till next Tuesday. That's not true. That's Nancy's flock of sheep. Nancy's flock of sheep have gone on have gone on Mai Tai runs till till Monday. I don't know if they're back Monday or Tuesday. I lose track. Hello from Bali. Wow, Scott Foster joining us from Bali. Is anyone international? I see someone tuning in for the Calcito. Actually, is anyone international in the room today? So there you go. Really, very Mai Tai. Yes, Craigslist says Mai Tai. So that's where we are. Hello from Dubai. Wow, Fareko, Inspire from Dubai. Well, hello from Dubai and hello from Bali. This is incredible. Anyone else internationally who is, yes, do not forget our vets. Absolutely. And so let's recap who's in support of stimulus checks. Everyone, every Democrat in the Senate is in support of of stimulus checks. And Sanders, AOC, Warren. Hello from Spain, Jeffrey Pinnich from Spain, Siberia again. Well, good morning from Siberia. I wish I had a Mai Tai. Yeah, Mai Tai is wonderful. I haven't had one in ages. We've been treated like international. Oh, goodness. So there you go. It's very simple. Why can't we get an executive order? Really not clear. Really not clear why we can't. It's very unclear why we can't get executive orders for a lot of this stuff. Hello, La Jolla. Well, hello. Good morning for La Jolla. Beautiful, beautiful area. Did McConnell go home? No. The Senate is still in session. The Senate is in session to the end of today. So there you go. $2,400 for SSI and SSDI. That would be done January. MSC, Kalish is asking. That would be done in January. Retroactive FPUC would be done in January. Hello from the Philippines. Hazard pay January. That's the big stuff. That's half a trillion, 1 trillion, 2 trillion. This, this is free. This is free. You repurpose CARES Act 1 and money. This is free. And then if we do UI and PUA, I don't even know how much. I think UI and PUA is like, $12. I don't think it costs much about anything. Hello from Alabama. Hello from Vegas in the IG room. Well, there we go. They don't really care. Well, we know that. That is obvious. They don't really care. And so there we go. Now, let's turn to hello for the moon. Yes, hello for the moon as well. Let's turn to your CARES Act 1 money. What's important to understand is that there's CARES Act 1 money available across the board. And so if you're in your city, county, state, you need to look today, as soon as I'm finished recording, as soon as you finish watching Early Mornings LA, which is the pin comment, and Mornings LA, you need to go on your city, county, state, city housing authority, state housing authority's website and look for rent assistance or utility assistance because it may be still there. In many cases, it's still there. You also need to go on your utilities website or pick up the phone and call them. Do you have any utility assistance because of COVID? You ask your city hall, your county hall, your state housing authority, your city housing authority, and get the question in. And ultimately, some cities, counties, and states have it. They have them sometimes in strange locations. So one viewer got a rent grant from San Bernardino. He went to the San Bernardino Housing Authority, which I never knew there was such a thing, the San Bernardino Housing Authority, and got a rent grant. So you never know where there is something out there. After you do the look, then they don't know nothing about Mariana, Florida. What's important to understand is that when after you look for, there's no stimulus in Siberia, only snow. I love that line. That's hysterical. After you look for, after you look for stimulus in your city, county, and state, then what you want to do is call up your utility companies and ask, do you have any utility assistance? And it's very, very simple. You want to keep it very focused. Then you want to look for food and you may want to look for free gifts. After that, there's a series of nationally known 100-year-old nonprofits that are paying for rent, utilities, food, holiday gifts, and sometimes stuff on top of that. And I detail them every day on Purple Power Live, which is at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time at night. If you missed yesterday's show, go to the front of this channel and subscribe, and you will see Purple Power Live. It was two videos back, and I went over those incredible organizations that are doing those things. For example, two organizations that are I call them privates in Rhode Island. I went over last night, paying for stuff. El Heap is paying for heating in Reading, Pennsylvania, says Maggie K just seconds ago on screen. So there you go. Um, uh, Mississippi, three organizations. Rhode Island, two. Kentucky, one. And so the list keeps that I know of, and on top of them, there's more. And that is what's important to understand. If you reach out to those private organizations, you reach out to your city, your county, your state, your utilities companies, and they don't um, have anything for you, then at that point, go to the community channel of this that is now relaunched on news.lalate.com/community. I know a lot of videos yesterday I said go to the button in the corner. It turns out that the button in the corner only appears if you're on a computer, but not on a mobile device. I did not know that. So I'm going to start putting the link to it somewhere else. If you've been sending private messages on Instagram or Facebook, or you have been getting an autoresponder that sends you the link right into there. So that's the easiest way. The autoresponder sends you a link right in there. There I've separated out your Indiana, go to indianahousingnow.org. Yes, Gabs, wonderful. I've been saying that as well. Indiana, go to Indiana Housing, Indiana's, what was it called? Uh, can't remember. IndianaHousingNow.org. One shot is for all of New York. Oh, Savannah says one shot's for the entire state of New York. I thought it was only for the city of New York. Wow, that's something new. If any of the volunteers are in the room, one shot is now for the entire state of New York. I'm just surprised to hear about that. So go to the community page, and I separated out the volunteers from Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter because some people are saying I only have Facebook, I only have Instagram, I only have Twitter. Finally, a message I said throughout the last 2 days, and I know a lot of people are saying the same message elsewhere. There are very bad spammers that are floating across the web during these holiday seasons. So do not, repeat, do not do the following. Do not post on to anywhere. I don't care what platform you're on, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere. I need help. Someone contact me. I need help. Don't post those words. Do not post the words, I need help. Please contact me. I need help. Because what that's doing is it's causing crime organizations to reach out to people who are asking for help and posing as other people, and then contacting you and say, do a Bitcoin scheme. You want some Bitcoin? I have some Bitcoin. And they're posing as other people. They're taking people's images. They're taking people's logos, and they're manifesting themselves as well. Ironically, I'll give you an example. This channel has very good spam filters in place, so you don't see a lot of crazy stuff post. But I do see the crazy stuff blocked. And in the blocked section last night, I saw a post by another channel. I'm like, why is another channel in this channel posting about Bitcoin? Well, I clicked on it, and it was someone impersonating another channel in this that never got posted. So there you go. So do not sit back and say, reach out to me, I need help. No, you reach out to the volunteers. You reach out to the volunteers. You reach out to the volunteers and you contact them so that you know that these are the volunteers. They are on the community page. There's no guessing of who they are. And it's as simple as that. Uh, La Liga, you definitely should run for office. I would vote for you. You're the best. La Liga, I love that. Someone called me La Liga. Oh my lord. I don't think La Liga would like me being called La Liga, but so be it. So there you go. Uh, Mitch, Nancy, Larry, Chuck, and Sir Lloyd at the bar. Who pays? Sir Lloyd, of course. Sir Lloyd. Um, so there you go. Uh, so how about December stimulus? Any change of getting stimulus this month? So if you're just joining me at the end of this recording, the news as I deliver them as it is at the time of this recording is the following: Mitch McConnell has not decided what to do. Just has to decide what to do. Hasn't decided whether he wants to do an extension or not do an extension for the CR. For the CR. But yesterday, Josh Hawley, a senator out of Missouri, introduced this a standalone bill for a stimulus check, $1,200 for adults, $500 for children. And if you revise this bill, which has nothing to do with the CR, to add four things, we're done. We're done till January. The first thing is you need to make sure the language ensures that all adults get $1,200, which it appears that he wants that to be the language. He may have messed up on the wording. Second, you ensure that it has an eviction moratorium. Third, that it has a mortgage forbearance. And fourth, that it has an extension of UI and PUA for 1 month. And if you want to wrap a bow on top of it and give it to Mitch, you say, and we're going to pay for it with repurposing CARES Act 1 money. Done. And suddenly it has nothing to do with CR. It's a standalone bill. It has nothing to do with standalone with the CR. There you go. Please mention the veterans. I mention the veterans every single minute I can. So do Josh's bill for stimulus or shut down the government. Actually, it's even more simpler than that, Steve. This is a bill that has nothing to do with the federal government. This is just a bill by itself. It has nothing to do with the federal government. So if they want to shut down the federal government, they can. But we just need to get people to get this bill done. We just need to get the world to get this bill done and add three things and nothing else. And how long does it take for a volunteer to get back to us? I would say about a day, 2 days. They have about 30 people, 30 cases, individuals per day. The fact that the community page is now simpler to use means that more viewers are reaching out to the volunteers than before. And now we have 15 volunteers. So so it's been more than Jonathan. If the volunteer that you reached out has not responded to, reach out to another volunteer, and they may be able to help you as well. With that, any other questions before? Any other questions before we say good morning and goodbye until holidays, LALATE? We love you. Well, I appreciate that, Jonathan. Keep it positive, keep it focused. John B8 Reed. Yes, Roberto. Is Chef Roberto back in the room? Uh, hello from New Hampshire. MSCE. Yes. No help in Arkansas. There's help everywhere. There's help in Arkansas. There's absolutely help in Arkansas. One Shot does more than even just rent. Remember, One Shot does a lot of stuff. Thank you and for your help and support. I appreciate that, Wendy. Very nice. Eyes on the prize. Amen. Let's keep the people voting. So go on to social media. Make sure with Mitch that he does not do extension. The message for Mitch would be don't do an extension, and the message would be support Josh's bill and add eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, and UIPUA, and we're done. As always, thank you for joining me on a special live recording of Mornings LA. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay of LA for more.